Hi, I'm Brian Persons. I'm going to be 59 years old in December. Yeah, I was taken out in a bad car wreck when I was 34 years old, so I'm pretty fortunate that I got to see for that long. And I know a lot of stuff that I did before I was blind, and it just makes it a lot easier to adapt to things without vision. And you learn rapidly that you go by touch instead of sight after a transformation like that. And I believe that going blind instantly after getting to see for a long time would be lots better than going blind gradually. I think that would terrify me. Well, I laid in the Salt Lake University Hospital for about 48 days and then in an induced coma with morphine. I broke everything. My skull, my neck, my left arm, broke all my ribs, shoved them off my spine, took a good chunk out of my right hip, and was blind. And I had a bunch of brain fluid leaking into my ear canals, and I couldn't communicate until I was wiggling my finger all the time, and Mom said he wants to write something. And the doctors just insisted that was the oncoming of a new grand mal seizure. And Mom says, no, he wants to write something. So I just started communicating on paper with a pencil. And then the doctors got together, 4 of them, and they started putting me back together. I guess they were the best 4 in the country that they gathered up to operate on me. And they stood on their feet for 17 hours, the first surgery. And then I had 11 more reconstructive surgeries scheduled. And I believe there's 4 or 5 that we never did go back and done. I was blind, and we were happy enough with the way I was and tired of driving back to Salt Lake. And just healing up and being alive, the first year was just phenomenal. And I had a lot of happiness come out of that. And then the second year, I wasn't happy at all and was really considering suicide. And then I came out of that and decided, well, I'm still alive. I'll just get back out there and live like I used to, minus a job. And I just got really bored not having anything to do. I couldn't keep track of the time or the days of the week or anything with no schedule. So I just told myself I've been on vacation long enough, I'm gonna go find something to do. And I volunteered at the State Library with the Talking Books. I ran the Low Vision Montana website for about 7.5 years. And I was an independent contractor, and I got a stipend pay. And there were no taxes held out of it because I made less than $3,600 a year. But to someone living on Social Security, that's quite a bit of walking around money for bad habits, smoking and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I had a really good mobility instructor, Lee Du Bois. She was about 4'6", and she was really low vision herself, and she did get permission finally to drive a route during certain hours. But she taught me to stay behind my cane and stay in step with it, and as long as it was touching something and you were arcing your cane wide enough, you were safe. If your cane hit something to the right or the left, then you'd know to adjust your steps, turn your shoulders a little bit so you're traveling straight. When your head turns, your body turns in a couple of steps. And it's kind of spooky and doesn't make any sense to a blind person when they first start traveling. The faster you go, the straighter you walk, but also the faster you run into stuff and get a knee knock or whatever it takes to wake you up. And when you do hit something and you try to lift your cane over it and you can't, it's touching something, so you just stand it up straight and walk right up to your cane and then touch what's there and see what your obstacle is, whether you got to go around it or you can step over it. Kind of amazing that a blind person can sense objects. You just, I don't know, you kind of feel them, but it's just like they're there. Like you can see a wall, like it just goes extra dark, but I see nothing anyhow, so I don't know how it could be any darker. But that's about the only way I can describe it. And then when you're crossing hallways through the T intersections and stuff, your hearing is quite handy to have, because you can hear the area open up, and then you would turn left or right or continue after you'd memorized the layout and where you wanted to go.
And how long have you lived on Rodney then?
I've been there 10.5 years. It'll be 11 in October or November, I think. Not moving again. I moved, 18 or 20 sometimes in the first 9 years of marriage, and I'm kind of wondering why my wife left me.
So it's your home now?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would like to say just about Rodney Street to people of town that may never go there or walk around there?
Well, Rodney Street is a project that they've promised they're going to fix the street for about 4 years in a row now, and now they are actually tearing it up. I don't know if they're fixing it or not, but they're attempting to make such a mess out of it that they have to fix it. So I hope that they succeed in their effort this time. It's a 2-year project, they claim, and it's a pretty good disruption to the neighborhood, and hopefully it'll be better. The road is so narrow, when I get on the bus, I have them pull in the alley because I could get hit by a car, and especially in the winter, they'd be sliding downhill to pick me up, and I could get hit with the door in the bus while I'm getting on or something. I'm really afraid something like that could happen. So the bus drivers are really kind, and they got me on the route to pick me up in the alley where it's safe. Well, if I had any memories of the Rodney Street before all these projects and stuff, I got a great father, 81 years old this August 8th, and him and me would go for walks every spring, and we'd prune the trees that hung over the sidewalk so I could go for a walk without getting slapped in the face or poked in the eye or whatever. And some of the homeowners probably weren't too happy because we just trimmed them off square while it was hanging over the sidewalk, so then they had to trim the other side from their yard because it was fenced. And that's the most difficult thing I could find about Rodney Street. But the people there all seem to be good neighbors and everything. Well, I've only met 6 rude people in my life that wouldn't help me out. Everybody else has. And I get out just like a sighted person. A lot of people are really impressed by me and my abilities to get around, and I couldn't do it without nice people. And I've bumped into 6 people in all these years, of 25 years that I've been blind, and I just says, they're deaf and mute. Stuck with the nice people that were helpful. Well, anybody with a disability is still have some talent that the world can profit from, and I think that they should, just dig down and pull themselves up by the bootstraps and go do what they can do. And when they get to doing that, they'll find out that they can do other things.